Ever get tired of breathing? Why not procrastinate like you do with studying? Well, we can hold our breath for a bit, but we cannot really delay doing it because it's mostly an involuntary action. You breathe automatically until you think about it, of course. Okay, so breathing, aka ventilation, is the process of taking in oxygen from the air into our bodies and expelling carbon dioxide. In simple terms, it is the exchange of gases in presence of specialized organs. The respiratory system consists of the nose, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and the lungs. When we breathe in, the air enters the nasal cavity through our nostrils. There are thin hairs, cilia, and mucus lining present in the nasal cavity which filters and humidifies the air we breathe. For example, it traps dust particles to prevent them from entering the lungs. The air then moves into the pharynx. The passage splits into the esophagus, leading to the digestive tract, and the larynx, leading to the respiratory tract. The air enters the larynx, which leads to the windpipe. The walls of the trachea and the bronchi are also covered with cilia and mucus to trap as many harmful particles as it can to prevent them from getting into the lungs. The lungs are located in the chest, which, in a more fancy way, is called the thoracic cavity. The membrane surrounding the lungs have a gap filled with fluid. This fluid helps the lungs move smoothly when the diaphragm and ribs work together to breathe. The right lung consists of three lobes: superior, middle, and inferior. On the other hand, the left lung has only two: superior and inferior. The bronchi branches into bronchioles, which terminate into the air ducts, or the alveolar ducts, containing the alveoli, the site where our body exchanges gases. Now we're done with the boring getting to know the structure topic. Let's move on to discuss how the oxygen enters our body and the carbon dioxide exits. As we breathe in, what do you think happens with the thoracic cavity? Notice that it expands as you inhale, and when you exhale, it goes back in. That is your ribcage effect. During inhalation, the ribcage moves outward. The diaphragm, which is a key muscle in the breathing process, becomes straight. This expansion increases the thoracic volume as air fills the lungs. During exhalation, the ribcage moves inward and the diaphragm gets back to its original shape, which is curved, or rather dome-shaped. This contraction reduces the thoracic volume as air moves out of the lungs. The thing is, we cannot really filter out oxygen from the environment and then inhale it. Sadly, life isn't so easy, you know? What happens is that when we take in the air, what we are actually inhaling is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 0.04% carbon dioxide. And of course, there are dust particles, water vapors, and other stuff as well, but we are going to focus on the gases for now. This composition reaches the alveoli. The alveolus filters out the oxygen from it and gives carbon dioxide in return. It's a give and take. The exhaled air consists of 78% nitrogen, 16% oxygen, and 4% carbon dioxide. Notice that the nitrogen gas stays the same. This is because our body doesn't require the atmospheric nitrogen, so the amount of nitrogen it takes in, it returns back, consuming a whole 0%. The oxygen gas decreases from 21% to 16%, showing that 5% oxygen is left in the body to be consumed. This gas is vital as it allows us to create the energy needed for the cellular respiration process. The carbon dioxide gas increases from 0.04% to 4%. This is because our body doesn't need excess carbon dioxide, so we just get rid of it by exhaling when we breathe out. It's like a natural way for our body to remove waste and keep things balanced.